So let's talk about some of the hidden gems as it relates to spirits or cocktails that may not be immediately on people's radars.
Right. The one that I have in mind for us here that I'm going to make in a moment is a Boulevardier,
Nice.
which is going, yes, it's a classic, which is going to be using either a rye, you can also use a bourbon, Campari, and some sweet vermouth. And while some mixologists will tell you a little more on the whiskey or a little more on the Campari, I just like to do it equal parts. It keeps it simple.
All right. So before we get started, and we're talking about hidden gems, let's get into this hidden gem.
Yes.
I know how much you love this cigar, the Cohiba Cirium, a very, very special project and one that's close to my heart. You know, we don't have a lot of these left, so let's burn
Let's
these
do
up
it.
while you mix us up some good stuff. So we're just gonna smoke a little bit cooler, a little bit more creaminess to it, but you still get the richness. So you just get a lot of different experiences in the cigar.
There's so much depth, and just right off the top, I get so many layers, so much spice. You do get, that nice cedar coming through, the wood spices, but there is a little bit of a sweeter spice that I think this cocktail will help accentuate. The Boulevardier takes us back to the 1920s. This is really a bit of a spin on the Negroni cocktail that comes to us from Europe, taking out the element of gin, replacing it with either a rye or a bourbon. That gives it more of that barrel element that we talk about. It's going to go so nice. We start out with our vermouth. What do you like about it so far?
It's very rich, and it has the Campari element, but it doesn't finish with some of the sharpness that.
Right.
Very fruity, very very bright, but very rich and very deep.
Some nice fruit notes, and again, equal parts vermouth, Campari. You can use a bourbon, maybe even a high rye bourbon like this one. Mm-hmm. I'm using a rye whiskey from Savage & Cook. So that finish of the French barrel, a little bit of that Grenache element is really going to awaken that rye, really give it a nice bath of something very unique. And Grenache wine is a really beautiful red wine. What I like to say, some really beautiful, almost funky notes. It has a beautiful, funky taste. And it really comes through in that.
You're not going to miss me with beautiful and funky, man. Give me beautiful and funky anytime. Right?
That's the way to do it. So I would just strain this one and put just a touch of orange on top. Yes, cheers. So wow, with that nice Italian spirit, with that wonderful grape note from both the vermouth and from that rye whiskey finish, that one is really just coming against a bolder cigar in a way that doesn't overpower it, but that really complements it.